And hello all newcomers and welcome back my fellow Eternians. As always, it is me, Emperor AP, and I am excited to be coming to you guys as 2 days since we purchased our new territory. This is the first ever territory 100% owned and controlled by the Empire of Aeternia. We have the deed officially. We are on the taxes for it. We are set up 100% as the legal owners of this land. I am blown away. This is something I've been wanting to do personally for just about my whole life. As some of you may know, my family has never owned land before. This is something that's incredibly new to me. This is something that is a big a big desire for me, and it's something that was a huge hurdle for the Empire of Eternia for a long time. It has been one of our largest goals. Anybody who has seen our land purchase funding on our website knows that we have been going at this for a long time. We've been on YouTube 3 years trying to make all that happen. But finally, we have had success. As well, it's good to see everybody. Sabotat, it's good to see you. Victorian Mapping is always good to see you. Diamond Coin, good to see you. Did you have another name last time we streamed? Because it seems like same person, different name potentially, but it's good to see you. Also, thank you so much, Sabotat. As well, if you're hanging out in the stream today, please like the video because it does help us out to get this to spread out further. I am absolutely floored with the amount of support that we have gotten. I am absolutely honored for everybody who has been able to help us out, for everybody who has been taking their time out to make this possible for us. This is something that, like I said, has been a long time coming. It's something that's been hard for us to do. And we honestly just had to bite the bullet and put money in to get this done. But now that we have, there is a whole world of opportunity opening up for us. So today I wanted to make this video to start talking about what our plans are for our territory. A lot of you have asked, how do you go about developing things? How do you go about making things? How do you go about recruiting people? And this is kind of a more advanced step. We have talked in a long, for ages on our channel about, hey, this is how you start a micronation. This is how you develop an economy. This is how you start getting people interested in your nation. This is how you market yourself. But now we are really, this is how you set up a government. But now we are really getting into the nitty gritty of, okay, you're a micronation. You've started out. These are the larger goals that you're going to need to move forward with. These are the bigger things that are going to be stopping you from achieving your long-term goals. And now that we have achieved one of those long-term goals, we can move forward successfully and hopefully bring that to you guys in real time. So I'm hoping to produce a lot more videos that are based around the development of the land itself. If that's something you're interested in, if you like bushcraft type stuff, if you like, just watching construction videos or watching anything that details like how to do a thing, if you like, people doing homesteading stuff, creating farms, developing, agriculture stuff, developing, renewable energy sources for power generation. That's all the type of video that we're going to be making pretty soon, as well as trying to recruit other people to come and help us develop the land. We already have some partners in the micronational community that we're talking to with project ideas in mind to help us develop that land, and so those people will be investing in the use of our land and in creating projects with us for us to do things on our land that allow us to help develop their goals and to help them make more money. And so as we continue to grow what we do on our land and as we continue to develop it, hopefully we'll be able to have people coming to visit more often, whether it's those people who are investing, whether it's citizens, whether it's other people who are interested in residency potentially. All of these are options moving forward as we get more and more and more out there. So the biggest hurdle for us right now is getting something small out there that allows us to stay. If you guys have seen some of our Instagram posts, our TikToks, our Twitter posts, you will know that for a long time now, for a couple weeks, we have been developing a beta version of what our first Eternian dwelling is going to look like. It's a very rough thing. It's an underground dugout shelter that is going to be used to help us develop essentially just a little camp there so that we can utilize all of our space as efficiently as possible, but also so that we can start to stay out there for several days at a time. Once we can get stable enough to do that, we can start to build longer term projects, things that are more stable, more reliable housing for people, start to get electricity and water out there so that we can look into moving residents in. And then that's where the long term work goes. As well, we have 3 viewers and 1 like. I appreciate you guys liking. Sabotat, I believe, was the first like. If you guys want to like the video, it helps to spread it out and get other people joining us in the stream. I know there are a lot of people who want to ask questions and who are wanting to understand some of the stuff that we're doing right now. But it's hard for me because I just have my phone to like tweet out and like Instagram and Discord and post all the things to let everybody know that we're streaming. So you guys liking helps it a ton. Thank you guys for liking as well. I saw we jumped up to 2. I think I'm going to walk around for a little bit and keep talking to you guys because I want to go outside. I think it's a beautiful day. But as well, we are doing just an incredible amount over on that land, and we have a lot of plans. So as we continue to develop, as we continue to grow, I want to make sure that you guys are able to follow us along, and also that I'm able to accurately answer questions and help to provide the critical information that's going to help you all to develop. So if there are any questions that you have, if there are any immediate things that you feel like are part of this process that maybe we haven't shown, please let me know. Please ask those questions. Please get people in here who are needing to know this information. Republic Empire of Rakus says congrats. Thank you, Rakus. That means a lot, and it's good to see you, by the way. Sabotat said I would donate, but I'm getting a new job in a few months, so I should be able to. There. Thank you so much. That means a lot, Sabotat. I would say first off, congratulations on your new job. I hope it goes well. As well, if you are interested in donating, you certainly can. We have a Ko-Fi page where you can do that. And even if you go to our commissions section of our Ko-Fi page, you can get some rewards for donations. But if you are interested in investing as well, if you're wanting to put in any kind of decent amount of money, $50, $100, $200, something like that, we can actually create like real investment opportunities that can, create returns for you. That's what we've been doing with a couple of other micronations. Now, one notable partner that we have is the Kingdom of Arcovia. They are a micronation in Mississippi. They are dealing with primarily agriculture, and so we're going to be helping them with developing a few projects and hopefully exporting some of the technology and some of the know-how that we have on that end, on automation, on renewable energy, to be able to help them to grow and to expand their operations. As well, that'll give us some return on our investment and be able to sort of pull in some monthly income. That we don't have to deal with a ton other than keeping up that equipment for them. Also, we have 8 viewers now, 2 likes. Thank you guys so much for jumping in and supporting. If you can like the video, again, it helps to spread it out and let everybody know what we're up to. But I really want to hammer out what that plan is for our land moving forward. Sabotat said, beautiful day. Here in Michigan, the weather is 25 degrees. Jeez, I'm sorry that Michigan is still in the roughness. I know it's early spring, so we're just starting to get to that point here in North Alabama where it's kind of warming up. But right now, today, it's in the 50s, whereas it's been like in the 70s for the last 2 or 3 days. So we're feeling that cold front come in a little bit, but we just got the tail end of it. You guys are getting the brunt for sure. Cool Guy says, Ameristan has joined the chat. Ameristan, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us and supporting us as we continue our land purchase, as we continue to move forward. Our land purchase, we already purchased the land. We're moving forward with our land development now. That's so crazy to say, because for the longest time, I have been on the talking point of we have to get this land purchase. This is so important. We have to get this in order for us to be able to move forward. And now we have it. This is our land development arc. You guys thought the land purchase arc was the big move. Check out the land development arc. This is like a whole new anime now. Y'all watch out. Sabotat says, I don't have enough money to go that high, but I think I will get the flag garden thing. Oh, hey, that means a lot. Yeah, and that's absolutely a great way to start. It's a thing where we want to be able to advertise that to people, and we want to be able to show who has supported us. So we want to get people eventually coming to to do tours of our land. And when we do that, we want to be able to show them off the Garden of Nations. That's a project that we're wanting to start out pretty quickly, where we are going to actually take donations from people. It's set up on our Ko-Fi right now. If you go to kofi.com/Aeternia, the link's in the description. You can go to our commissions section, and we have a specific tier. I think it's like $10 or $15 or something, where you can actually purchase that, and we will make a flag of your nation, and we will stick it in our Garden of Nations to show all the nations that have supported us, all the nations who have helped us to get to this moment. And we take that money, the leftover profits from that, and we're going to be trying to put it into making that first shelter. So we can get myself out there for a longer period of time, and then eventually start to get Tiffany out there, start to get potentially another citizen out there, and just see how much we could do at once. So thank you, Sabotat. That does mean a lot. Onyx says, Onyx Clan has joined. Onyx, it's good to see you. I'm glad to have you as a part of the chat. And thank you guys for liking. Rockus says, my micronation is doing well. We are just stuck on what we have as a currency. Have on what to have as a currency or how to make a currency. Do you have any suggestions? Yes. So we have a very long series on currencies and on the development of economies. If you check out our micronational economics series, we have a ton of information on that. We cover everything in the first episode, from what different type of economic systems there are and why they're important, all the way through different currency types and developing that, and even what you need legally to use something as a currency, getting a money transmitter's license. So we have an entire series that details all of that, and I recommend after the stream you go and check that out and watch that. If there's any difficulty that you have finding any of those videos or anything, one, please let me know so I can fix the channel and make it easier for people to find that. But also, I can send you a link via our Discord or via email. Just let me know. Sabotat says, it was 6 to 70 last week. Just today got 25 Michigan weather. Am I right? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's that cool front coming in. Onyx says, yeah, I'm in Florida. It's just warm most of the time. And that's fair, Onyx. See, you didn't get any of the cold front then. We got the tail end. Michigan got the brunt of it. Florida got nothing. Sabotat says, Raucus, I made mine a digital currency to cut fines of printing the money in a special combination to make it semi-waterproof. Very cool. Onyx says, okay, cool. Republic Empire of Raucus says, thank you. Of course. Absolutely. I'm happy to help. Onyx says, Florida has had nothing. Yeah, absolutely, for most of winter. That's fair. So you guys like kept warm then. You guys were in a pretty good spot. Real quick, I am going to change settings, I think. So I want to move from here to outside just because it's such a pretty day. I want to get some of that vitamin D and feel the beautiful sun on my face. I moved here and I set everything up, so be warned there's going to be a drop in quality for maybe a minute or two while I transition outside, but please be patient. Thanks, guys. Ooh, there we go. Okay. So I'm unplugging everything, setting everything up, moving. It's probably going to be a little bit disorienting for you guys. Sorry about that. I am actively trying to walk outside. But as we continue developing for this land and as we continue trying to push forward for these goals, I think one of the big things that we have to keep in mind is just how we can make little steps along the way and how we can make that valuable for us along the way. I know one of our biggest interests right now, like I said, is taking small, short-term investments from people to help kind of develop that. So things like the Garden of Nations, of course, where we want to represent people. We also want to, Savitat said house reveal. Very true, but it's not my house. So not too much doxing going on. I'm not here very much, so it's not a big deal to show the house a little bit, because this is not my residence at all. The thing that I wanted to bring up though is that for a lot of those little small-term developments, I really want to figure out what's best for other nations. For my specific interests, I have been thinking a lot about Microcon. Of course, we're going to be going to Microcon, which is in August, the beginning of August, and we're hoping to bring a pretty sizable group. So, 3, 4 people at least. And in doing that, it is a beautiful day. Oh no, I want to move. I want to move again. Okay. Uh, so the benefit to having opportunities for people to invest in our trip to MicroCon is that we can advertise those people's nations as well. If you purchase something from purchase a flag to go in our Garden of Nations, we absolutely want to support you and represent you that way, and we will as we get more and more people coming to our land. So the actual whether that be from the actual tours that we host, or whether that be from events that we have on the land, different people moving in. We want to be able to have that as an opportunity for people to see your nation and to kind of show off your flag. But for something more short term, we can absolutely have people investing in Microcon. We have tiers for that as well in our Ko-Fi campaign. So it should be easy to check that out. Sabotat said, gotta go, have a good day. See you, Sabotat, have a good day. Um, okay. Multiple things. Um, Public of Empire of Rocket says, we are in Arizona. It's a little cold this week, like in the 80s. Oh, goodness. I'm glad you guys are getting to enjoy the sun, but it sounds like you guys get to enjoy the sun all the time. So I'm sure that feels a little cool to you. John Hancock says, I envy you. Do you envy them in Arizona where it's like 80 degrees? Maybe it's freezing for you. Yeah, Manu says, it's okay, he's docking someone else. It's not okay. I'm trying to limit the doxing, but at the same time, how do you limit the doxing too much? Just go against a white wall? That's boring for you guys, I imagine, right? I gotta I gotta figure out a good in between because this is a really pretty setting, I feel like, but also I am not trying to dox people, so I gotta figure out the best thing to do. John said, I would like some warm weather sometime. That's fair enough. Are you in like a cold weather state? We had Onyx out there. Not Onyx. Onyx is in Florida. We have uh, Sabotat in Michigan or whatever. Uh, Empire of Rocket says this is a joke. Manu says, I also, hi, what are we talking about? Hey Manu, thank you for joining. Today we are talking about the Empire of Eternia's land purchase. We have our first official territory as of Friday. We completely own it now. We are in the process of developing it. And so what we've been talking about today is designing a development plan for that. It has been a difficult process to get here, and of course it's been years and years and years of work to get this done, but now that we have our territory, we can start to develop some of the things that before we couldn't even imagine because we had that huge land hurdle where if you don't have land, there's just so many different restrictions that you have on what you can create, how you can do it, where you can put things. There's just so many factors to think about when you don't have land. So now that we do, a lot of those roadblocks are moved out of the way for us, and we can start to do something. Again, one of the things that I was mentioning earlier, if you jumped in kind of halfway, it may not have made full sense as to why I was saying this, but I think the biggest thing that we need to do in the short term is figure out valuable methods of investment for small micronations. So, for myself as a micronationalist, when I first came into the community, of course, I was just looking for activity. But once I found that, it was a thing where we started to make, the YouTube videos, we started to make a little bit of money on Patreon, but just like $1 or $2 a month. And so it was something where I had, a very small amount of disposable income. Most of the time, just paying rent, trying to survive, trying to make it. But I always wanted to have, I had a little bit in savings, and I wanted to figure out some way to invest in other micronations. And it's a really hard thing to do a lot of the time. There's not many opportunities unless you're trying to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. there's not too many opportunities to get an actual monetary return on your investment by helping a micronation, especially in a small part, investing $100 or investing, $50 or something like that, and to see any nice gains from that. But I feel like at this point, we have the opportunity to start providing that for the community, which hopefully will help to kind of invigorate everybody and hopefully show this as a positive opportunity. So we're trying to think of ways to do that. Of course, we have the things on our Ko-Fi that you guys can check out, those different tiers, which are, again, just one-time purchases, which will allow you some kind of benefit for helping us with the land purchase and allowing us to take the money that you guys give and to invest it in making our shelters there. But for longer term stuff, we really want to try and get more traffic to that land. So we want to have different events happening there. We want to have different tours happening there. We want to have potentially different local sellers coming and setting up booths and doing things like that. Maybe running a farmer's market there. Just anything and everything that we can do in order to make that process easier. As we do that, as we collect more capital from these different investments, we can put that directly into those pieces, those dwellings. Right now, we are just looking to develop stage one, which is going to be a survival shelter. It's going to be a dugout shelter. It's going to be something that allows us to stay there overnight, potentially through the weekend. So right now, the land is completely undeveloped, so there's not really much we can do to stay out there. Of course, we could pitch a tent and just kind of, hunker down for the night, and that's fine. We can do that, but that doesn't allow us too much opportunity to actually grow and put a ton of effort into the land. What would be really nice is to be able to have some sort of dug-in shelter there that will protect us from the weather, will make sure that we can store materials there, for long periods of time. And then that way we can start to keep our tools out there. We can start to keep, electronic equipment out there. We can start to keep rainwater collection stuff out there. And the land becomes more and more permanently developed at that point. Once I can go out there and stay for a weekend, I can invite, 2 or 3 friends out there. I can maybe get like our citizen David to come out, and we can actually go and stay over the weekend and just camp and work and make something pretty large scale there. And from that point, once we have our first dwelling built well enough to where we can stay there for a weekend, we're going to start working on the second dwelling while we're upgrading the first and making it more habitable. And we'll start to dig out and prep for that second dwelling. And as we continue to improve each one of them, we're going to get to the point where we can go, okay, so now this is reasonable enough for us to stay out there for like a week, and now it's reasonable enough for us to stay out there more permanently. The primary things that we have to do, though, are electricity, so that we can start to run some of our equipment. One, having electricity makes it easier because we can run power tools out there. It makes building and developing a lot better. But as well, you start to get into with electricity being able to power lights and things like that, which makes it easier to work at night, which makes it easier to stay out there for longer periods of time. Of course, you have some creature comforts, heating, cooling, things like that. You can even start to get into, trying to set up Wi-Fi out there so that I could actually do work and stream out there and have you guys more directly connected to what we're doing. So electricity is a big one for us. I'm hoping that's not going to be too crazy expensive, but we still have to have something out there for them to hook up to for us to do that. From there, the next thing that we need, of course, is water, but water is going to have to be well dug. So that's going to be a fairly expensive endeavor to get to. For the time being, before we can get somebody to dig a well, because it could be anywhere from, a couple $1,000s to like $10,000-$15,000 to get that well dug. What we're going to want to do in the meantime is to be able to have rainwater collection and purification. I have some familiarity with that, so I'm going to be working toward making that an option for us. But as we continue, I hope that you guys will follow our progress on that. The other thing that we're going to be moving forward to after the in connection to the water is going to be our septic system as well. We have to get a percolation test on the soil, so that way we know that we want to have a septic system put in, and we have to have a drainage field where all of our wastewater can go into the soil and collect and run off. And so in order to do that, we have to get a test done by some engineers with the county that we're in to make sure that we can have that properly drained, and to make sure that we can it'll be possible for us to both dig a well for our drinking water and also to have our septic system drain into the land without those things kind of running into each other and causing problems. And that's a tough one. The well and the septic system are by far going to be our most expensive things. Each one of those could be, a $10,000 or more project. So those are going to be the things that are long-term goals for us now, but they are also something that allows us an opportunity to have more permanent setup there. Once we have water and septic out there officially, that's a perfectly livable property. At that point, we can invite residents, that day if we wanted to come out and start living there, and to do that permanently. So that's an exciting endeavor for us, and that's where we're headed. That's our idea for our direction. But there are these interim stages that we're trying to figure out and to build. Of course, we know those big goals. Of course, we have those long-term things mapped out. But for the short term, it's a dugout shelter. It's going to be camping, essentially. It's going to be, trying to get things out there that are going to allow us to stay for longer periods, like food. Again, trying to talk about developing things with Arcovia, and with trying to ensure that we can have some kind of regular food source out there, having eggs and quail eggs, and developing our own kind of hatchery there will help significantly. Aeternia is not interested in selling agricultural products. We're not particularly wanting to sell eggs or do anything like that, but we will have enough to create sustenance for us. And then as well, we will be developing automation technologies for Arcovia so that they can actually sell those products and sell eggs and make money off of that. Whereas we will take a percentage of the profit from that. Just for creating those automation technologies. So pretty quickly over this summer, we should have not only a source of food out there in the quail that we will have for our sustenance and maybe a few other small crops, but as well we will be able to start having a small bit of income stream directly from the development of technologies that we've created. And in doing that, we can then take that steady stream of income that we know will be there and start to invest that into the additional creation of our products and of our services. Again, it's all about trying to reinvest, and it's all about trying to expand more and more quickly in what you can develop, and that's tough for us. It really, really is. I think. If you guys will give me 1 second, I'm going to go grab a chair. Also, I see we have 5 viewers, 5 likes. Thank you guys for keeping that ratio up. If you can like the video, it does help a lot. Hey, Onyx says, I'm animating my next video when Micronation reveal on my channel. Very cool. Sabotage says, I'm back. I'm packing, but I will still watch to help the view count. Hey, very cool. Thank you. Also, good luck with packing, Sabotage. That means a lot. Onyx says, same. GG. Hey, very nice. Manu says almost 2,000 stubs and still no YouTube partnership. Exactly, it's tough, man. I have been. Okay, I'm walking back around. I want to go and get. I want to go and get a chair. Excuse me, guys. But yes, we still are. We're almost at 1,700 subs. We're at 1,660 something, getting close. But the issue with having YouTube partnership is that we have to get 4,000 watch time hours. And 4,000 watch time hours for us is a pretty difficult ask, simply because I have to be steady on these streams or making absolute banger videos in order to get the frequency of viewership that we need. Right now we have, I think, 3,200 watch time hours. Over the summer, we hit like 3,600. So we only had like 400 left to go. And then the semester hit, and I had to take a break from doing all of this so that, one, I could focus on the land purchase, and two, so that I could focus on my school and getting my degree. Fortunately, this semester I am getting my degree and I am graduating with my bachelor's. So moving forward, I'll be moving into my master's, my PhD, but I will hopefully be making a little bit more money, and I will also be able to dedicate hopefully some more time into making sure that we get that watch time. Already this summer I plan for us to hit our 4,000 watch time hours. We are again at like 3,200 right now, so if we can really push, we can get the 800 that we need without too much difficulty. It's just a matter of kind of building back our loyal subscriber base and the people who have been watching. There are plenty of people who are subscribed to us, I think, who come in and they subscribe and they realize that we're not as frequent as they would like us to be, so they watch other videos. And then it's hard to get those same people back once we do start ramping up again. So trying to figure out how we can keep consistent with you guys is important. And that's something that we're trying to figure out on our end, specifically for me, because I want to be able to dedicate consistent time to getting these videos out to you guys. But it is hard with my schedule and with all the things that I have to do to prep things for Aeternia. You know, the more that we do, the more time it takes and the more I have to try and delegate to other people. But with the YouTube channel, there just aren't enough people to help us out. So if there is some way that we could figure out to have more content coming onto the channel, that would mean a ton. And right now we don't have that monetization, so it's kind of a catch-22 where if we don't have monetization, then I can't really offer to give anybody any payment for making videos for us, because then, you know, if I could do that, it would be nice. I could throw some money their way based on a percentage of what their videos make, but it's tough. It's tough. So right now I just have to kind of do what I can and hope that I can create partnerships with people to create content for the channel. Jose said, what's up, AP? Hey, it's good to see you, Jose. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for hanging out with us. We are talking about our land purchase. I have been super honored to finally have a territory for the Empire of Aeternia. This is, I want to scream, legitimately. It is astounding. The last couple days I have been like driving back and forth from this land and have been thinking to myself like, oh my god, you own a piece of Alabama. We had to go to the tax office to be able to like get the government to like change over all the information to my name, and you could like see their map. They like had a map of Alabama and they're like zooming in and zooming into the different counties and then down to the different areas inside of the county, and you could see where they like zoomed in on the plot of our territory, and I was like, oh my gosh, we own like a piece of Alabama. Like there's a percentage of Alabama that's just ours now, and that's incredible to think about. It's only 3.5 acres. It's not a ton of land, but it's, you know, some people put houses on like half an acre, a quarter of an acre, something like that. So we have a good bit of land that we can do stuff with. Again, it's just trying to get as much help as we can so that we can get this content out to you guys, so that you guys feel like we are able to really have you in the driver's seat along with us. And that's what I want to do more than anything. This has been, like I said, a dream of mine for a long time, but taking that and making it a reality and then sharing that with you all is something that I'm super passionate about. And as we continue forward, I hope the things that we do, the mistakes that we make, the things that we learn, are able to reflect back for you guys so that you get some benefit out of that. This is kind of the intermediate stages of micronationalism. You know, we were in the baby beginning steps where we were just trying to beg anybody to subscribe to us and watch us and check us out because we needed some way to move forward. And fortunately, you guys really believed in that. And you guys helped us out and made us get to this point where we could then bite the bullet and purchase this land and have, $1,000 in reserve that helped us to make that just a little bit easier. If we didn't have all the money that everybody gave us through Etsy and through Patreon, which wasn't a ton, it was just around $1,000. But still, if we wouldn't have had that, we wouldn't have been able to purchase this land. It was difficult, and it came down to the wire, and it exhausted all of my money. But now that we are there, we have the opportunity to move forward in ways that we could never have imagined in the past. So as we continue to do that, as we continue to move forward, I have to find ways to get you guys in the driver's seat with us. That means trying to make more videos for you guys. That means trying to come up with a schedule, but it's hard for me because of my schooling. So if there's any way that you guys can think of for us to do partnerships with other channels, to, try and get some of you guys making content on the channel, please let us know, because I can even like film short snippets and like send it to you guys if you guys are good with editing, or if you guys want to like help us on social media, whether it's like Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. Just trying to keep that momentum going, trying to let people know like we're here and we're doing stuff is what I want to do, and I think is what's going to push us over that watch time hour goal. Again, we're trying to get that 4,000 watch time hours right now. We're at 3,200. I think this summer it shouldn't be too hard for us to hit over that goal, but that's a huge milestone for us as well. I thought we would hit that 4,000 long before we got a land purchase. But it does show a testament to how much you have to work to be able to get that 4,000 watch time hours. Of course, there are some people who just knock it out of the park and just get it right away. But that's a rare find. Most people, especially in the micronational community, as niche as it is, are really grinding to try and get that. So for us, it is another one of those hurdles to prove ourselves, to prove our mettle, and to see how much we're worth in trying to make this nation. That income stream, even though it's just a little amount of money, any amount that we can get from monetization on YouTube means that, one, we can start to have opportunities for people online like you. It no longer has to be something where if you want to make money through the Empire of Aeternia, you'd have to have some equipment and you'd have to have some way to actually set up some trade with us or something like that. You could literally just make videos for our channel, and we could set up a percentage of that ad revenue to be able to go to you. Again, I think that's going to be very rare. We have talked about it on the channel before and kind of had opened it up to anybody at that point, but I think at this point we're going to be restricting down to saying if we decided to do that with somebody, we would want to connect with maybe 1 or 2 people who would be regularly making videos for us. That way we don't have to parse it up between, trying to figure out, okay, this person's video made, 2 cents this month, and then this person's video made 3 cents this month, and then this person's video made 8 cents this month, and having to like send out all those fractions to all those people and keep tally of that, if it's like 30 different people. So instead of doing that, we want to partner with 1 or 2 people, have that hit really hard, and then be able to send them a decent amount of money for a good number of videos. So we're looking into that. We are looking to invest in content creators. If you think you can create content for us, if you think you can help us to push over the top and get our 4,000 watch time hour goal, please let us know. And it's crazy too, because over the course of our channel, we have like 8,000 or 9,000 watch time hours total. Like, we have absolutely blown it out of the water with the amount of watch time that we have. It's just not all in 1 year, which is our biggest difficulty. So as of right now, that 8 viewers that are watching right now are helping to make that happen. We've been going for 38 minutes, 47 seconds. Those likes, those 6 likes that we have right there, those help us to get that watch time hours up and to be able to shoot over our goal for 4,000. Because that little bit, even though it's just a little bit, it keeps us moving. It keeps us grinding up to be able to go from 3,200 watch time hours to 3,300 watch time hours to 34. 100 watch time hours seems like it's a lot, but right now we have 8 people watching. If we had 10 people watching and we streamed for 10 hours long, we would hit that. But that's literally 2 more viewers. If we had 10 more viewers, it would take us a fraction of the time. If we doubled it, if we had 20 viewers, it would only take us 5 hours. These are these are things that we can do that are perfectly achievable to be able to knock out that 800, 900 watch time hours that we're going to need. But it's just a matter of time as well. Our channel has 1,600 subscribers. We're going toward that 1,700, trying to shoot for 2,000. But it's just been that lack of momentum that we've been able to build during the semester. And now we are trying to push that back up. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for hanging out with us to make that possible. The biggest thing that I need from you guys, I need you all to tell me what this micronational community needs. I need you to tell me what questions you have. I need to know what videos you're going to binge and that are going to be valuable to helping your nation grow in its current phase. Because the better that we can tap into that, the more that, one, if it resonates with you, I'm certain that other people are going to want to watch it. And two, if we can get those things down and we know what things people want to watch, we can start to pump out some short videos, decently made videos that will allow people to hang out and to kind of hit up that watch time hours for us, but in a way that's it's exciting for them, in a way that's going to make them want to, reach out and talk to us and develop plans with us and help them to legitimately advance their nation. Micronationalism is hard. It's a very hard thing to do. It takes a long time to be able to work on. And I just want to be able to bring the community together and make that a little bit easier for all of you who have dedicated so much time to watching the channel anyway. I want to make that valuable. Ooh, Onyx says, guys, when should I do my Micronation reveal? Onyx says, I want to do it, but not as my next vid, because that's already planned. Makes sense. Manu says, let's hope Micron boosts the channel's popularity. Absolutely, and that's why I really want to get some, investors for Microcon stuff. Because ideally, the more that we can hit up different investors for our Microcon booth, the quicker that we can have bigger and bigger things to do at Microcon. I'm already going to prepare a speech. There's already going to be some stuff that we have. Of course, we're going to have some of our citizens coming with us. Of course, we're going to have Tiffany and myself. But I want to be able to do something big. I want to be able to do something that Microcon has not seen before. And so if we can get a little bit of money together for that, if we can make it legitimately worthwhile for people to invest in our Microcon experience, then we can make a banger Microcon experience. Jose says, is Aeternia going to be an agriculture-based country? We are not at all. Again, we are going to be subsistence farming. And that's just to make sure that we offset some of the cost of food for ourselves and our citizens, and instead are able to produce for ourselves. But that's a self-sufficiency thing. We actually have a partnering nation, the Kingdom of Arcovia, that's based in Mississippi, the state right next to us. We're in northern Alabama. And they actually run a quail farm, a commercial quail farm, as well as getting into some other birds and stuff that they're doing. So they are an agriculture first micronation. They are really heavily invested in the agricultural industry, and they make a good bit of money from it. So we're not trying to step on their toes. They can provide us a lot agriculturally. So we don't really need to be a super agricultural nation. What we're hoping to do is to create technologies for them. We are actively in contract with them and have received investment money from them, significant investment money, to develop them an automated microgreens monitoring system. We're also going to be creating some incubation chambers for them and stuff like that. So there are some projects that we have in the works to receive a percentage profit from the percentage revenue from the sales that they make of those different products that they sell. So we are going to be benefiting from the agricultural industry, although we are not focusing on the agricultural industry. And I think that's a good investment for us because, one, it allows that micronation to continue to pursue its goal and its passion 100% without us competing over those resources and over that territory. But as well, it allows us to be able to leverage our understanding and our knowledge base. Instead of having to go into an entirely new industry and learn from scratch, we can instead benefit them with our knowledge and as well make money off of the things that they're doing already by making it easier on them to do that. So they can grow, they can expand with our technology, and then we can get some of the profit from that expansion. It's a win-win for sure. Onyx says, I don't know, lol. Honestly, I don't care about money, I just care about content. Gatorade moment. That's respectable. That's how it should be, 100%. I would say I talk a lot about money on this channel, And it's just because money makes the world go round. You need money in order to legitimately develop a community of people that you're trying to take care of. That is our goal. Our goal is to have people who live on that land, who consider themselves Eternians 100%, who are able to have a home without having to pay rent every month to keep it, to be able to have a consistent job that they can rely on, to be able to have food and water and shelter, to be able to have transportation provided for them. All of those things we can't provide in one day. But the more that we can position ourselves to have significant streams of revenue, which means having industries that we've developed, partnerships that we've developed, and money that is flowing, we can then start to provide some of those things for our citizens. Providing those things for our citizens means that we are valuable to them. It means that they're willing to invest larger parts of their life in helping to develop Eternia, and doing so more and more seriously. Once we have residents on our land, those are full-time people who are helping us to develop and who are dedicated to the cause of Eternian excellence. This is something that is hard to do. This is something that I don't think many, if any, micronations have really gotten under their belt. And it's something that we're pushing for. It's something that we're having to try, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be years of effort, but every single step we make forward is an acceleration. As we've been saying previously on this channel, every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. And now we're at the point where we have land. Now we're at the point where we're going to start to be able to set up some of our own electricity and water and all of these different things that make us self-sufficient. We bought this land and it is completely undeveloped. So there's not water flowing from, a city or a county, some municipality into our land. We are going to have our own well dug. We are going to have our own groundwater that we do not have to pay any money to get. It will be ours outright. We'll have to pay for the equipment to be installed to be able to pump that water out of the ground, but that water is ours by right on our land. So we will be able to pump that water out, not have to pay any money for, a certain amount of gallons of water, like you would if you have piping in your home, to do so from the city. And as well, we will be doing the same thing with electricity. Right now, we're going to need electricity from the city, and we have the opportunity to get that. But as things move forward, we're going to be advancing our own electricity generation and storage so that eventually we can be not only less reliant on the grid for that, but eventually get to the point where we are selling some of that energy back to the grid, that we are producing more energy than we need so that we can use that as another income stream. As we continue to do this and develop this, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, but we are going to be moving quickly with a lot of momentum, with a lot of force that we can provide as a benefit to those people who truly want to help grow Eternia, for people who want to make Eternia a part of their life, a part of their family's lives. It's a serious investment. It is a long-term investment. It is something that I am putting my heart and soul into, and that I am investing for myself and for my family. And so if I want to make sure that my kids feel comfortable, living and growing up as Eternians, I want to make sure that other people's families feel more than comfortable doing that, feel like it is a better opportunity than the ones that they have now. A whole bunch of things. First off, Arizona said, hello Arizona, it's good to see you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Matt says, hello, hey Matt, it's good to see you. Sabotat says, you were one of the first people Sabotat ever started learning from, and the people thank you for that. You have been there the longest for Sabotat. We watched you for a long time, but didn't go in. Yeah, absolutely. It's didn't go in lives. I'm so happy we did, though, because of your wonderful personality, and it makes me happy every time I join one. Thank you so much, Sabotat, and I'm flattered by that. I really am. When I see new people come into the chat, I'm always excited to greet them and to try and talk to them, because it is a bond. I will find people who started watching our channel years and years ago, and who I would have talked to and who would have been really involved. There are people who, for some of you who've been on the channel for years, are Minecraft streams. We used to do Minecraft streams like a ton within the first year, 2 years on the channel. And when we were doing those Minecraft streams, there'd be like maybe 1 or 2 people watching. and they would go away, and we wouldn't hear from them for years. And then all of a sudden, a couple months ago or whatever, we have people from those Minecraft streams coming back in and saying like, "Wow, I haven't watched this channel in like a year, like 2 years. It's crazy to see how it's changed. It's crazy to see what you guys are up to, and it's good to catch up with those people." So I'm flattered by you. Thank you so much, Sabotat. Thank you to the people of Sabotat who are watching us and helping us to grow. It's a bond. It really is. And I appreciate that you consider us worthy of your time and attention. And I hope eventually your additional investment as your nation grows. Jose says, do you graduate this year? I sure do. So this semester, in May, I will be graduating with my Bachelor's of Science in Physics. So I'm very excited about that. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to get an internship somewhere. And I can start to work toward my graduate degree in the fall. Sabotage says AP will get bachelor's degree this year. Yeah, thank you. Manu says, speaking about content, I already made a presentation and I'm trying to figure out how to turn it into a video. Hey, I appreciate it. If you made the presentation already, I think you can just send the slideshow to me, or you may be able to export it as like an MP4. One way or the other, if you send me the slideshow, if you have it created already and you send me the slideshow, I can turn it into a video. That shouldn't be too difficult. Arizoa says, would you still take video donations where they don't have to get the ad revenue? Yes, 100%. If you guys want to do that, that is perfectly acceptable. Like, any video that I should have prefaced with that. Any video that anybody wants to make, if you just want to donate it to our channel and just say, hey, here you go, I would be excited to see this. Promote your nation, talk about stuff, do whatever, and throw it on our channel, because talk about a topic that you're passionate about in micronationalism, whatever it is. Send us some content. One, because it's going to help us to get those watch time hours, which we desperately need. But more so than that, it is going to allow you to be able to get the platform that we have, the people that we have, to be able to hang out and check out what you're interested in, what you're doing. We would 100% take any donations that we want to have. It's just that you guys want to give. It's just having something that is an incentive for somebody to make content for us really goes the distance. I mean, we have had plenty of people over this channel's history who have donated content to us, and I am flattered by that. Some of those videos have been the best videos that we've had. Some of Gray's videos have been awesome and have, gotten incredible views. Some of Viren's videos have been incredible and been some of the highest viewed videos on our channel. But that being the case, we have had, even Onyx's video has done well on the channel. Steven's videos have done well on the channel. All of those things, though, were people who were volunteering their time and who helped us out a lot with the content that they made, but because they're not paid for it, because there's no incentive for them to continue to do it, and they have their own lives that they have to work on, there's a limit to how much they can actually produce. So, we may get one video and then we may not hear from them again, or we may get a video here and then we may in 6 months get, a little couple-minute video there. But if we can start to offer some incentives to people, that would be nice, because we could hopefully encourage finding a partner that would say, hey, I'm willing to make a video for you guys like once a week or once a month or whatever, and to keep that kind of train going. So 100%, Arizoa, we would 100% accept any donation you would want to give us. Video donation, an Instagram post, whatever. Manu says, oh no, PowerPoint's not responding. Oh no, Task Manager's not working. Oh no. Hey, you're good, Manu. You're good. I would say try and save it if you can. Restart your computer, do whatever you can. But I appreciate it. That's wild. Nabak says hello, Emperor AP. Hello, Nabak. It's good to see you. You're also somebody who's been on the channel for quite some time. Thank you for liking the video. Manu says, known of Aeternia's channel since 400 subs. That's what I'm talking about. Manu, you have been here for an incredibly long time, and I'm honored by that. There are people who have come in from Jet's channel. Jet is my friend who, when launching my channel on YouTube, he does like gaming stuff. He does entirely different stuff. He does Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, gaming stuff, rapping stuff, and his channel has like over 2,000 subs. So when we first started the channel, he sent a whole bunch of subs our way just from saying, "Hey, go and check out my friend's channel," and that was a huge start for us. It gave us, I think, like 25 or like 30 subs almost overnight, and it was just because he already had thousands of subscribers. But that being the case, that little bit of momentum helped us to find a few loyal viewers, maybe like one or two. But years after that, I have seen people come back to the channel and be like, I remember you from Jet's channel. And it's crazy to see that. Um, Victorian Mapping says, let's name it 1 month reform. Very cool. What are you guys talking about? The 1 month reform. I'm trying to learn Victorian mapping. What's the 1 month reform you speak of? Um, but yeah, I'm curious if this is a good angle for you guys because I wanna make sure it's not getting uh, too saturated or whatever. The lights messing with how the view's coming out. But yeah, I would absolutely love any kind of video donations that we can get. I would love to figure out any way that we can, again, continue to provide value for you guys and make it something that you're more excited to participate in more frequently. The only thing that sucks is that I have difficulty being really consistent with a schedule. Again, with my schoolwork, with developing stuff for this land, with just taking care of my family and my friends and stuff. It's hard to say, hey, every Saturday I'm committing to making a stream or whatever, because I know myself, I know my schedule is going to be, and it's very, very hard for me to keep that. Even today, I had set everything out to have a stream set up at 12:30. I didn't end up getting out to the stream officially till almost 1. So I was running late. It was a bit of difficulty, but I know trying to make a longer term schedule than that is going to be even harder. So what I really need to do is to be able to find people who can help us to do things, where we can schedule specific events and we can just say, hey, these are things that uh, people can pick up over time. Hey, we want to have a thing on the Discord. So if we can have somebody in the Discord who kind of runs this particular event for us, we'll set a date for it, and then we'll have everybody kind of participate. And then maybe somebody can take all the information from that event that we did on Discord, and then they can put it into like a PowerPoint presentation and make like a video about it. And then I can do the narration for the video and upload it. And that way, this thing that would be normally like a 2 or 3 or 4 week process to like get all the information to make one nice video for you guys could be broken down into multiple steps to where at the end of it, I just have to take, whatever the raw materials are and finish processing that into the final video. Um, that would be a huge weight off my shoulders, and I think it would allow us to be more efficient and to be able to move on a lot of this a lot quicker. So it's tough, but we're getting it. And I think ultimately part of that just comes from being able to have a certain amount of resources. Of course, once we get the money to be able to like pay an editor and to just have somebody consistently on staff who is uh, dedicated to dedicated to our social media and nothing else, that'll be when we're really able to do some big stuff. But I just feel bad for you guys right now because it's something where I want to be able to provide that consistency. I know our channel could be at 3 or 4 or 5,000 subs today if only we had been able to consistently and continuously provide that high quality content for everybody. It really does come back to momentum. It really does come back to keeping consistent with how you grow and how you develop so people can come back and keep checking those things out. I also want to get better with, stylization for the channel. The videos that we make have been kind of all over the place to some degree. Of course, we make some videos that are like these live streams and some videos that are like the outdoor things that we do, trying to make a lot of our stuff for the land development. Even now, there have been some videos based on the technology that we've done, and everybody comes to the channel for a different reason. Part of that's very beneficial, but part of that I feel like detracts from some of our viewership. So I'd like to find a way to continue to do all of those things. They're all necessary and important parts of our government and our way of life, but we have to figure out a way to funnel them into one nice package that everybody comes here for. That people can really, really feel like even if the topic at hand isn't directly in their interest wheel, it's still something where the style of video, it's still something where the personality that's shown through, it's still something where the things that we're doing, the progress that they are keeping track of is the thing that they're able to come back through and absolutely feel right at home with. I want that for our channel. I want that for our people. And I feel like that's just one of the steps that I have to learn and get better with in order to improve this nation. But we are moving at that. We're moving at incredible speeds just to try to make something for ourselves. And it has been a success. Even though we're not where we'd like to be with monetization, even though we're not where we'd like to be with as much of our online community as we have had, we are still growing and we're still developing, which is insane. There are plenty of micronations who have a big, meteoric rise, and all of a sudden they start getting a lot of support and a lot of views, and then all of a sudden, or Twitter following or whatever, and then all of a sudden a year or two later, they're out of the game. They're saying, hey, our government's disbanding, we're falling apart, we're calling it, because it's very, very rare for a micronation to be stable enough that even when it stagnates in any field at all, in any direction, that it doesn't just directly collapse on itself. It's building a house of cards type of thing. Most of them are not stable at all. Any little gust of wind, any little thing that, changes in it is going to cause a complete collapse. We have been fortunate enough that even though we have bumps in the road, even though we have slower times and faster times, we're able to weather it. That's something incredible. I think understanding that in and of itself is something that is valuable for micronationalism. And it's something that I eventually want to make videos on, because withstanding the test of time, there is a lot that goes into it, and it's difficult to ensure for anybody. But it's something that if you can do it, means that you have nowhere to go but up. It's a long process. It's a hard process. You may not be there as quick as you want, but if you don't stop and you keep going and you find ways to make yourself more and more stable, it's really hard for anybody to knock you down and kick you out. It's really up to you at that point. Of course, you have to keep putting in the time and the effort, but it works out. And that's what we've been able to see. That's the thing that has humbled me so much about this moment, where we have finally purchased our land. We have territory as the Empire of Aeternia. The next thing that we're going to be doing, the next time that we go out there, I'm bringing the flag. Like, we're doing some big stuff. And it's something where people, even our most thorough supporters, even the people who we have as citizens who were saying, I want to move out there if you got land tomorrow, were saying when we were first trying to do our land purchase, you guys aren't going to be able to do this for like 15 years. Like, this is going to be such a long time. There's no way that you can be able to pull this together with the amount of support that you have. This is near impossible. And we did it. We did it in 3 years from the start of our channel. 3 years later, we have territory, purchased, deed in our name territory for our citizens to live on. It's no joke. We're moving. The thing that feels so fortunate in this situation, and the thing that really helps us to continue to mobilize on this, is that we finally have some way that we can show consistent, trackable progress to you all. Of course, with some of our previous videos, we could show things like the advance of our technology. We already showed some in our micro hydro turbine. We already showed some in the development of a lot of our different systems. But with our arc furnace, with the growth of the imperial market, with the development of our Patreon. But each of those milestones was something that was a big meteoric step. You know, it was this big moment, this big exciting thing, and then all of a sudden it was, okay, well now we're just trying to keep that up and make it work and make it more stable. Now all of those things have been stabilized and we have the land. And so it's this thing where we can all of a sudden elevate all of those things and improve all of those things that we set up initially because we have the opportunity now. So we can continue to expand those things. Those things can continue to get bigger and better simply by virtue of us having that valuable resource in the land. Manu says, okay, see you later. I can't watch a stream and turn off the computer at the same time. That makes sense. I understand. Have a good day, Manu. I'm excited to see what you come up with the video, and I'm excited to see you soon. Baliga says, hi. Hello, President Benjamin of Baliga. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for hanging out and checking out our video. One thing that I just noticed, the sun is like directly behind us. So if I like that, I feel like it would help out a ton. As opposed to the direction that I've been facing, where we were right in the sun. So low video quality. Let me see if I can help out a little bit. Maybe like this. There we go. Not too bad. I might just move in the shade, honestly. I might set up. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on, guys. Follow me. Follow me to the land beyond, to the place we call our home, Aeternia. That's not our anthem, but it kind of should be. That was a bop. Yeah, let me go ahead and do this. So I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, multiple things. We have multiple people jumping in. Okay, so we have Gorth that jumped in and said, hey, AP. Hey, Gorth, it's good to see you. Once again, we're talking about the development plan for our territory, our new territory we purchased. We have the deed for in hand. We are moving forward, and we've been talking about just the planning of that, all the finances that go into it, all the investments that we're trying together. It has been an absolute cluster, but we're getting it. Valiga said, hi, Gorth. Gorth says, sorry I haven't been on streams lately. I've been dealing with a rebellion. Uh-oh, I hope everything goes okay. And also, I've been checking out the TikTok. It's good to see that you guys are making development. Valiga says, what sort of rebellion, Gorth? Gorth says, trying to overthrow Gorth's my allies' government. Oh, dang. That's not good. I hope everything's okay. I think one of the biggest things to remember when stuff like that is happening is that, you know, if you invite people to be a part of your thing, they certainly have a lot of influence and a lot of say, especially as micronations are small groups. But that being the case, it's not the end of the line. Like, you have say in what happens in your micronation. If your micronation is a democracy and you're choosing, you know, we're going to, whatever people say we're going to do, and we're going to, you know, let people overthrow it if they want to, that's your choice, but you don't have to. Micronations are something that are generally pretty well held in the hands of those people that created them initially. So I would say I wish you luck with everything that's going on, and I hope you find a resolution that makes everybody happy, but at the same time, find people who support your vision. Gorth says, also, I'm happy for you, AP. Hey, thank you very much, Gorth. I appreciate that. I'm happy as well. Again, I'm over the moon. It has been crazy to feel like, wow, we finally have a piece of Alabama that is ours. That, you know, we can go out there next time we go to the land and plant the flag. There are things that we can do now to actually set in stone. This is our land. We are here. We are developing. We are going to put people out there. Manu says, I'll turn it off later. I'll see if I can watch the stream somewhere else. Hey, thank you very much, Manu. I appreciate it. Gore says, at Baliga, cyber harassment, manipulating Gorthians and Rathians. Oh, goodness. That sounds rough. Baliga says, how long till Aeternia gets the land? No, we already have the land. We bought it on Friday. We have it right now. We own the land. It's ours. We have the deed. It's us. We got it. Valiga, we own it. It's ours now. We got it. It's incredible. And like I said, I've been flipping out. The last few days driving back and forth from the land, driving to different places. I have just been saying to myself, like in the car, like, you you own a piece of land. Like that's incredible. My family has never owned land before. I have never had the opportunity in my life to come close to something like that. And now we have achieved it. It is absolutely awe-inspiring. It is striking to me. Valiga says, happy for you. Eternia is expanding. 100%. And it unlocks so many opportunities for us. Plenty of micronations have land that they can use, but there's a limit to it. Either it's public land that they, can go and hang out on, but they can't really develop on, or it's somebody's private land, but it's not their private land directly. It's their parents or their friends or something else. So they can do some small projects, but there's also kind of a limitation there. This is our land. This is my land that I have the deed for, and I can just do Eternia stuff on it. It is incredible. Gorth says, Beliga, I know. Eternia will solo Gorth and probably uh, always will. Uh, Eternia will solo Gorth and probably always will. What do you mean by that, Gorth? I'm curious. I don't fully understand. And Beliga said, "Can Beliga help you, Gorth?" They're trying to make plans. They're trying to squash this rebellion out here. Um, I appreciate everybody's support. I really do. Again, in continuing to try and plan for our land purchase, I keep saying our land purchase, in continuing to develop our territory that we own, we are having to move at breakneck speeds. We are having to do things on so many different facets of our development that it just requires partnership. We have to ask for help from other micronations. We have to figure out opportunities that are going to benefit those nations and benefit us as well. It's going to be a long road. It's going to be one that takes a lot over and over again, years and years of effort. But we have the largest hurdle out of the way. Gore says, not really. We're winning at the moment, so hopefully it'll be gone in a week. By solo, I mean is stronger. Interesting. Oh, well, I appreciate it. I feel like it's all a matter of perspective. You know what I mean? You're doing what you're doing for your nation and growing it in the way that it needs to, and we're trying to do the same for ours. So I wouldn't try and compare different micronations because that's not a good thing to do. Everybody has their own different development at different rates. Some micronations are going to get some things done before the others, but that doesn't make them stronger or weaker necessarily because depending on what metrics you view something as can change your perspective on their strength a lot. Baliga says, will you grow crops on the land like we have attempted to grow, but the land has held us back? Um, that's a great question. So somebody asked something very similar earlier. We will be developing sustenance farming. So essentially, we will be getting eggs from our covia to be able to have quail and other birds. We are going to be having maybe some small plants that we have out there, but not for the purpose of selling. We are going to be using them 100% for our own purposes to offset some of the cost of food for some of the people who are going to be living and working in Eternia. But we have partnered with Arcovia to be able to create technologies for them as they are a commercial farming business and they have commercial farming industries that we can use to develop for them to make their work easier and so that we can collect a percentage of the revenue from their sales. So by having Eternian technology working in the Arcovian agricultural sector, we can quite easily start to move from Eternia just having what it needs to survive to also having partnerships which earn it some passive income over, a certain amount of months. Gore says, what's your plan on creating Wi-Fi, sewage, and tech? Ooh, that's a great question, Gorth. So once again, as I talked about very briefly earlier, but I'll go into some more detail here, our primary plan is to start to identify what the main things we're going to need are. You already brought up some of that information, and I think that's certainly very valuable to look at. One of the biggest things is going to be our One of the biggest things is going to be our sewage system. The land is 100% undeveloped. So the big three that we need are a septic system to get rid of our waste when we go to the bathroom, a well to be dug so that we can get fresh water, and electricity. The electricity is fairly close. There is a power pole that is right, so it shouldn't be too incredibly expensive for us to pay to have electricity installed on the land. But we have to have a building that the electricians can actually run the wiring to. So we still have a ways to go on that, but that's slowly coming underway. That'll probably be the easiest of those three to knock out. The next thing is our septic and our well. So those are probably going to go hand in hand, but they're also the most expensive by far of the three things that we need to do. Whereas, max it may cost us $1,000 to $2,000 to set up the electricity, whereas the lowest cost that it could be is, potentially free or maybe, $500 or something like that. Those wells and septic system are going to cost, anywhere from like $5,000 to like $10,000 a piece or more. So, this could be individually, like each of them could cost like $15,000, and that would be a reasonable price, like per thing, like 15,000 to get the septic and then 15,000 to get the well. The well we want to get dug down pretty deep so it can be, pretty strong, pretty reliable for us. And can pump a good amount of water out of the ground at any given time. The other thing, our septic system, we have to make sure we get testing for it and set up with proper regulations so that we know that our drainage field, as they call it, will be where we deposit our waste into the ground. Will be far enough away from our well system so that we're not contaminating our well system with our waste. That's going to be hard to do. That's going to take some professional engineers a little bit to figure out, and that's going to cost us a good bit of money to hire those people to have that done. So those are some things that are long-term goals, and they're big goals for us, but it's not going to happen overnight. Those may be month or year-long, goals that we're trying to achieve. It may not even happen this year, maybe 2023, 2024, before we have all of that done. But for right now, in 2022, what we can do is we can start in 12,022, I should say, for the Holocene calendar for the Empire of Aeternia. For this year, what we need to do is to be able to create intermediate steps, steps that aren't, going from we have nothing out there to having a fully furnished house with, plumbing and water and electricity and Wi-Fi. What we need to first have is a camping survival shelter, and that's what we're trying to build out there. Right now, our dwellings that you saw on our channel that we were making kind of the beta version of and testing out, it is an underground shelter that we are going to be digging out inside of our land so that we can maximize the topsoil use of our land, and as well so that we can ensure that we have the capability to protect our citizens, to insulate them, to make sure that the cost of heating and cooling is really cheap, and to make sure that we have something just to get started out there. Right now, since there's nothing on the land, it would be very hard for us to stay out there for any extended period of time. But if we can develop a small shelter, even if it's just kind of a little shack, even if it's just a little dugout, that'll allow us to camp over a weekend, which means we have, uh, probably 10 times the amount of time that we can dedicate out there as opposed to a couple hours on one day where we have to drive all the way down to the land, stay there for a few minutes, dig a little bit, work a little bit, and then go all the way back and drive all the way back. We can go out there on like a Friday, stay from early in the morning, work all afternoon, sleep there at night, get up again the next day, do the same thing, get up again the next day, do the same thing, and then Um, head back out from the land so that I can go and prep for my job and school and stuff like that. Um, so we want to get something more stable than a tent out there. We want to get something that would allow us to really start to build internally. Something that would allow us to start to develop those dwellings to have electricity run out to them. And it's going to take some time and it's going to take some effort, but this is, I think, the best investment for us for the short term. Um, as we continue to go out there, though, that's the plan, is to get a shelter built,
to advance the shelter to the point where it can hold us for a weekend or two. We also want to then start creating a rainwater collection system, so that way we have running water out there, both to be able to start taking showers as well as to feed any quail, any livestock, or any crops that we have out there. We will also want to start to have the rainwater collection system so that we can, excuse me, so that we can start to create kind of like a small septic system and stuff like that, or at least like a composting toilet or something, so that we can just have a little bit of comfort out there, so that it stretches from, okay, well, we could stay out there for the weekend, and now, oh, we could stay out there for a week. And that really, really extends how much we can do out there. The more comfortable we can make it for people, the more that I feel I can stay out there for longer periods, but also the more that we develop that in the short term, the quicker we can start to advertise for other people to come and be resident citizens of the empire, where they could actually live on the land for free and just help us to work and develop it and keep expanding what they have as opportunity there. So that would be the idea. That's that's our motivation moving forward. Where if we can make something that's comfortable enough for us to live, then we can make something that's comfortable enough for somebody else to live. And if I'm not going to live there, I'm not going to ask somebody else to live there. So I want to make sure that it's done right. I want to make sure that we have all the necessities out there. I want to make sure that it's something that's clean and accessible and reasonable for somebody to work on. From there, we can start to advertise for somebody, hey, we've got this space, we've got shelter, we've got electricity out there, we've got running water. If you want to go and live out there, you'd still be roughing it. It'd still be like, you know, a more relaxed version of camping, a more camping with amenities, essentially. But if you can do that and you can stay out there rent free, all you'd have to do is spend, 2, 3 hours a day maybe coming and helping us to continue to make that better and better, just to improve the little home that you're in, to maybe, take care of our livestock, make sure that no animals are getting into them, and then to continue to expand. That would help to make us some money. That would allow us to invest in better amenities, in getting those larger things that we need, like the well system, like the septic system, done even more quickly. Um, so Aristoria jumped in and said hello. Hello, Aristoria. It's good to see you. Please like the video. It helps out a lot to get people in the video, to get them in the stream and hanging out with us. Fake name says Cusnaria is here. Cusnaria, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Gore says hello, Aristoria. Baliga says bell tent. We could absolutely have a tent out there, and again, that may help for the time being. Like, if we want to go out, say next weekend, and we wanted to start doing stuff, because we don't have a shelter built out there, it would be nice to be able to have a little tent. But honestly, if we had, 4 or 5 people go out there early in the morning and dig and work and work and work, we may be able to get a small shelter built, just something to survive in, um, done within that day. So by the time we'd bring a tent out there, it might just be worth it to actually build a small little shelter. But once we have that small little shelter, we can, insulate it from the rain, we can have it temperature resistant, and then all we have to do is dig out more of the soil that's inside of that structure. So as we continue to do that, and as we continue to reinforce it and support it with steel and with wooden support beams and stuff like that, we're going to be at the point where we can start to stay there for a significant period of time. Start to install those things like the rainwater collection system, which will help us to have running water there for washing our hands and showering and cleaning dishes and doing things like that. Then we can start to create a little fireplace for cooking food and stuff out there. That makes it to where you can start to live out there more permanently. And that's the idea. So, as quickly as possible, we want to try and convert this from nothing into a livable situation, essentially like camping, um, without having too many middleman steps. That is in itself a middleman step for us because an intermediate step, if you will, for us, because our biggest goal is to be able to have it to where a citizen can come and live out there and feel comfortable and not feel like they're gross every day and be able to take a shower and wash their clothes and do stuff like that. But we can't do any of that until we can make sure we get electricity and a well and septic and all that out there. So until that point, we are going to be working directly with just trying to make a nice campsite. But the Belton is a good idea, Baliga. Thank you. Gorth says, where is Baliga? Fake Name says, Ave Aeternia, may your empire expand. Thank you, Cusnaria. That means a lot, and I appreciate your people's support of our nation. Every day we try and move further. Every day we try to accelerate, and it's thanks to people like you that we're able to do so. Sorry, I'm getting gnats. Francisco says, how's it going, AP? Francisco, I am over the moon because we purchased our land. I own territory now in the state of Alabama, and the Empire of Aeternia has its first official 100% Aeternian owned territory. This is something that we can start to have citizens and residents move on to once we develop the land enough for them to do so. This is our moment. We're going for it. Baliga says Baliga's in the southwest of the UK. Very cool. And so you see, we have people internationally who are supporting our nation. We have a movement going that is worldwide, and every single moment that we have that we can invest in continuing to pursue that, continuing to advance that, making it bigger and better, not just for us and not just for our local citizens and our residents who are going to be moving there, but also for all of you, for everybody who has dedicated some time to watching the channel, to purchasing something from our Etsy, from our Imperial Market, anybody who's supported our Patreon. We want to give back to you guys and find a way that the things that we are doing become very valuable to you all. So as we continue, please let us know what your nations need, how they want to develop, what questions you have about development, because I want to make sure that the content on this channel matches what you guys want and need out of it. Micronationalism is hard. It's something that took us, again, 3 years at breakneck pace to try and get a piece of land that is ours, that we can have citizens on. And that was a mountain. We try to move a mountain, literally and figuratively. It's a lot. So I want to pass the buck. I want to be able to provide benefits to you guys who have supported us and who have helped us this entire way. So if there are ways that you think we could be better doing that, please let us know. Gore says, micronations will rise up 100%. And it starts here. We hope to be helping to carry that torch in our time to make that possible for other nations in the future. Cusnaria says, may I make a suggestion? Get evaporation-based water purification. It could be as simple as fire, buckets, and leaves. 100%. We are absolutely wanting to do that. So we have a full water purification system that we're wanting to do, and it's based on rainwater collection. So we are absolutely going to be doing that. We have some good ideas for that. We're also going to be pressurizing the water as well. So there's a number of things that are going to be beneficial for doing that, and different ways that we plan to have that achieved. You're thinking along the right track, Cusnaria. That is absolutely something that we need to do, and it's something that we're going to be able to do in the near term. That's one of our larger kind of intermediate goals. Before we can get a well out there, because that's ultimately going to be our final version of making sure we have, nice, clean drinking water for everybody. The well is our ultimate goal. Until we have the well, we are going to have a rainwater collection system that purifies the water, pressurizes it, not to nearly as high as would be for a normal house, but enough so that we can have a shower, wash our hands, have a sink to where we could wash dishes and stuff like that. Maybe our clothes, have a wash area and, kind of a clothesline thing for that. May even be able to set up some kind of very low pressure washing machine or something once we have our electricity out there. We're getting it. We are slowly but surely going to be achieving making this land that right now is completely bare. It's opportunity waiting to happen, turning into a home for Aeternian citizens. Every time we accomplish one of those intermediate steps, whether it's having that campsite out there where we can stay for, a couple days instead of just going down there for a visit for a few hours, that means that, we have one resident in Aeternia's in Eternia's territory myself. But even that won't be a permanent resident at that point. It will be just when I can camp there, just when I can stay there. If we want to make it a real permanent population, I have to be able to live out there full time, which means I'm going to need to have internet access so that I can hang out with you guys. I'm going to need, of course, electricity and water and sewage, septic. That is, the big goal, and that's a long-term thing. But we can get it better and better. We had a tremendous amount of lag and difficulty getting it, so I had to get everything reset. The stream just started saying like reconnecting and started messing up real bad. So I am trying to make sure that we get back established and set up. Let me know if everything's good on your end. I know sometimes connection difficulties can be weird and can mess up audio or can mess up the visuals sometimes. People sometimes say the video looks like grainy or something. So please let me know if everything's looking good on your end. Yeah, RRTV says you're back. So AP, you crashed or something. Is anyone else stuck on repeat? Yeah, y'all are having difficulties. Thank you guys for joining us. Also, thank you guys for watching. We have 10 viewers, we have 10 likes, 3 viewers. And like I was saying before we left, I'm really just trying to set something up so that we have a nice segue for our first citizen. I was trying to make the prediction that I think that before we have myself as emperor able to stay out there full time, because I need access to internet to be able to reach out to you guys, because I need to be able to consistently connect with my place of work for the job that I do and for the research that I'm pursuing, for the degrees that I'm pursuing, I could make the assumption, and I think I am going to make the prediction, that we may have a citizen living in the Empire of Aeternia's territory before full time, before I am able to live out there full time. Again, it's a prediction. That's something that we'll have to see whether or not it comes true. But the thing that contends on is whether or not, one, we can find somebody who fits well with our situation and who would like to make that kind of exchange, to be able to have a place to live, even though it's not even though it doesn't have all the comforts of, say, a normal apartment or a house that you would buy fully completed. It would be rent free. It would be something that allows us to have a person on hand who, one, can count as our permanent population, which would be amazing, but also someone who can help us to take care of and expand the work done on the land when we do not have the ability to be out there. It also makes it quicker if somebody is out there more permanently to be able to develop it to the point that Tiffany and I could go out there and stay there permanently as well. So this is going to be a long process, but the hope is that we can find somebody who fits well with us and the situation, who can help us to do what we need to do. So I'm excited for it. Baliga says, not back on my end, back now. Okay, I'm glad, Baliga. It's good to see you. Cosnarius said, it's pretty pixelated right now. Uh-oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is everything okay? Like, is it better now, or is it still messed up? Because it says that I have 5G, and I can go back onto the Wi-Fi inside, but I think the Wi-Fi inside may be worse. You guys gotta let me know if it's better or not. If it's still really pixelated, I'll go inside and I'll try the Wi-Fi. Just let me know. I thought it was a pretty day, and I figured I would come sit outside. But that's also what made it lag like 10 minutes ago. So we will see how this works out for everybody. Again, please keep me updated. Hey, Fake Name said it's better now. Thank you so much, Cosnaria. Because I really did want to sit out here and keep talking to you guys. It's just a beautiful background. It's a nice setting. To be able to spend the day with you and to be able to talk about the future of our country. Developing a country is a weird thing, I do have to say. Taking a part of who you are
and expanding it and really having to flesh out your own logic to be able to understand how you want to live and how you want to see yourself and your fellow person treated from a day-to-day basis puts a lot of test on you. And then to try and take that concept and actually put it forward to have other people start to use it and take it on, and to be able to say and guarantee to those people, I am going to take care of you. This is going to be a nation of unity and a people who are not only surviving but who are thriving. That's a hard promise to make, and you can't do it without significant evidence that you can back that up. So that being the case, it's constantly an effort of putting yourself to the metal and really, really pushing. Something like this land purchase, something like the new territory that we have, is a huge testament to how hard not just I have worked and not just Tiffany has worked, but every single person who has helped us. People have watched our music streams on loop for us. People have watched live streams over and over again, just had live streams playing in the background and stuff, just to help our watch time hours stay up a little bit more. We are trying to make big, big pushes, and it sucks that it falls back down, and it sucks that it messes up for us. But we would not be anywhere near where we are if not for all of those people. So for all of those moments and for all of those pieces of effort that it took to build till now, this is our reward. This is our grand championship. Eternia has territory of its own, and that's something to be said in and of itself. We aren't the most successful micronation in the world, but I would like to think that we are starting to put our name in the running. We are not the largest micronation in the world, but I would like to hope that we can be one that creates the most value for its citizens. We are constantly a nation that is looking to better our identity, and we are a group of people who have constantly been thrust into the position to try to prove ourselves. And so as we've been doing that, and as we have been making these incremental strides over years just to kind of elevate our position and keep us more stable, it is important that we recognize all of the people who have helped us. So I just want to spend some time saying thank you to our patrons. Our patrons on Patreon, if you guys haven't checked that out, are incredible. We really don't have a ton as far as infrastructure set up on the Patreon, as far as unique video content, things that other creators have. And so the people who have been helping us have been doing it out of the kindness of their heart and the belief that Eternia is going to get somewhere. The thing that we do have set up on our Patreon is our citizenship. You can actually purchase a citizenship from the Empire of Aeternia, at least the basics that you need, from having a $1 tier on Patreon. So just $1 a month, $12 a year, is enough to earn basic citizenship in the Empire of Aeternia. And we have had, I think, 4 citizens as of right now on our Patreon who are actively connected because of that. We have other patrons who are supporting us at different tiers just to be, supporting us and just to be helping out. But we have a number of citizens who, instead of working for the Empire in a job, just directly support us monetarily and have earned their citizenship that way. So thank you so much to those people who have helped us to make this possible. That, is a direct connection to that. But as well, just to people like Manu, to people like, Viren, who helped us to make video content, people like Onyx, who have helped us to make video content. All of those people as well, giving us that ability to grow our community more, is a huge help. That allowed us to diversify what it means to be Eternian, and to show you guys other perspectives of our position other than just me talking in front of the camera. The other thing that has allowed for us, sorry, I'm trying to adjust my boot, but I also need a place to set this up. That also provides us with this unique connection to our community that makes it collaborative, that makes it a growing and developing piece of the larger micronational community. And that makes it alive. That makes it something that shows that it is valuable to you all and that we are able to continue to progress.
Multiple things. Casnarius says, "You're certainly the most active on YouTube. I appreciate it, and I'm certainly trying to be. I want to be the most well-developed micronational YouTube channel. I want to be able to be the most valuable micronational YouTube channel to you guys. I want, people to really feel like when they get into micronationalism, they can come to the Aeternia channel and learn and feel like they have a place to start out." Master Deonite said, "I just dropped by to say hello and congrats on the land purchase. Sorry I can't stay long. Thank you so much, Master Deonite. I am excited to see you here. Thank you again for all of your support. We have made videos with Master Deonite. Go check out if you want to see us talking about clothing for micronationalists and how to develop your country's style. We did a wonderful video with him. He has beautiful costuming that you should check out for his official wardrobe. It's lovely. And so thank you so much, Master Deonite. I appreciate that. Yeah, that Cusnaria, your point there is absolutely spot on. I mean, we want to try to take the activity that we produce on YouTube and try to make that something that we're proud of, and try to make that something that provides value for you guys. Of course, that's what we have to offer right now. But as we continue to grow, I hope that we can offer higher quality content. I hope that we can offer something that really makes a difference for you all. Gore says, north or south? We're in the north. Um, that's a great question, Gorth. The the other question, talking about development in general, and talking about going from just this flat piece of land to something that we can live on and something that's more sustainable, is ultimately going to be the challenge of resources, which is ironic because of the amount that we've had to use in our resources just to be able to get that land. But moving forward, there are costs to everything. There are costs to, being able to drive out to the land, wear and tear in our vehicles, but as well just the gas prices. If you guys are in the U.S., if you drive yourself, you may be irritated with gas prices, or if you have family who drive, you certainly hear about gas price irritations. The news is talking about it. But that being the case, I think gas prices are going to continue to go up for a little while. So that's going to be something that we have to take into account. And so trying to figure out the best strategy for getting out there and staying out there to be able to, develop this property kind of as quickly as possible, just so that the affordability of the cost per hour of labor to go out there and to work on and develop the land it gets as low as possible. These are the things that we have to achieve. First off, we have 6 viewers right now. We had 7 a second ago. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, please like the video to help kind of boost it out there. I feel like as we talk today, and as we continue to get this plan for how we're going to develop our territory to make it suitable for people to live out there, the thing that we have to consider most is how much we are practically going to be able to do that in the beginning. Like I said, there's a cost to all of that. There's a cost to driving out to the land. There's a cost to materials that we need to be able to build on the land and getting equipment. All of that's certainly expensive, but we can find ways, as we always have in Aeternia, to scrimp and to save and to make the most efficient system possible so it costs us the least to start out. As we continue to push forward with doing this, we're not going to get those big goals right away. We have to make smaller intermediate goals, as we've been talking about this whole stream. So for us, one of those huge intermediate goals is just going to be having any kind of small shelter out there. Our biggest plan coming up is it's either going to be this coming weekend, not this weekend that we're in now, but this coming weekend, next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that, or potentially the following after that, depending on our schedules. I want to go out there with a group of people. I want to go out to our territory with maybe 4, 5, 6 people and just start to do a big
dig. I want to develop the land as much as I can in the area that we're going to have our dugout shelter, and to just try and clear as much soil as we can. Try to do that dugout as much justice as we can right away. That way, we have the basis for um, our uh, our shelter. We have somewhere where we can go out there and stay the night. And we have something that we can camp in, not just like in a tent where if something gets weird enough, you may just have to leave anyway. If your tent gets damaged, if water gets inside it, you don't have too many comforts. This will be something that is a solid foundation, solid walls and a roof, something that can protect us, something that can insulate us from the cold and the heat, something that can store our equipment out there safely. And so we need that dugout shelter. That's going to be the easiest thing. It's going to be the cheapest thing for us to be able to develop within a relatively short period of time. And it's something that will allow us the leverage to be able to stay out there and work longer, which means we get more hours of work out of that one drive that we send out there. So that's the part that kind of helps us out with expanding and making that cheaper for us. Again, we talked about just a second ago how much it's going to cost per hour of work that we have to put out there. So going from driving out there, spending a couple hours and driving back, versus going out there, staying the entire weekend and driving back, is going to be enormous for our productivity out there and enormous for our ability to start to ask people to stay on the land with us. After that, once I can camp out there, I can ask a friend, hey, do you want to come camp on the weekend or whatever? And now we have two people out there. Or maybe Tiffany will feel comfortable one weekend and we can go out there and work and come back. Two people working out there for the price of one round trip, dealing with making significant headway for our industries, for our residents, is absolutely worth the price at that point. Cusnaria says, I believe I found a way to harness one of the great plagues on micronationalism. Please update us, Cusnaria. I'm interested to hear what your great plan is. Talking to everybody today and really hearing everybody's thoughts and everybody's interests, it gets to me because this is not something that's unique to Eternia at all. Of course, Eternia has its land now. We're moving forward, but this is something that we have for the longest time been pushing for. Of course, as a whole community, everybody wants to be able to have the land purchase. Everybody wants to be able to, have their own place that they're developing and making stuff on. But I think everybody trying to race toward that independently is hard. And from my experience of having to do that, it's not the best method. Now that we have this land, I really want to offer it to you guys. I really want to find ways that we can incorporate a lot of it's going to be in initial investments, you know what I mean? Of course, the first investments are going to be the most rewarding for the people who do them, but also the most expensive. And then hopefully we will be able to, as we improve the land, make it cheaper to invest. So right now we're looking at larger projects like trying to develop these houses, these dwellings for Eternians, trying to develop our our systems that we need primarily, like our septic and our water and our electricity, which are all going to be thousands of dollar projects. So the investors that we're looking into are giving us a significant amount of money, and in exchange we are providing a significant amount of benefit over many years for those people. But as things get further progressed, as we start to have that ability to stay out there on the weekends, as we have the ability to start getting internet access out there, once we have our electricity, that's when we will start to be able to do things like say, okay, well, now that we have electricity and Wi-Fi out there, we can start to say, hey, if you just donate like $5 here, $5 there, we can do something and it'll show up on the channel and you guys will know about it. Or if you can help us out with an individual like watching session or whatever, like if we can get everybody to really boost up this video, then we can do a big reward on the Discord.
or we can give away something that we've created on Eternia's territory. Um, that's something that takes us time and effort, but will be achievable in the short term. And that's, of course, going to help us out. It's going to allow us to connect to you guys better and will hopefully allow you to get something out of the land. So that way we can start to develop these opportunities that even if it's not a lot that you guys are getting, just by participating in the channel and watching, you can actually get something for your micronation, and that benefits you. That gives you a little extra step in your journey as we take ours. Manu said, "Rip Eternia flag gif. I tried." Manu says, "Anyway, I would not recommend doing a voiceover. It'd be better to just put some background music and let the slideshow do the explaining." That makes sense. Yeah, that sounds good. That's honestly even easier for me. So that's perfect. I can, if you send it over, I can watch it. I can throw some video, some um, some music over it, and we can get it on the channel. Thank you so much, Manu. I appreciate that. Manu is making for us a slideshow video that'll be on the channel probably in the next few days. That is just discussing the general overview basics of Eternia. I don't know what all he's putting in there, but Manu has been watching the channel for a long time, and he is somebody who has helped to genuinely affect this channel and its community. From being a part of our Discord, from being a part of our YouTube streams, everything you can think of, just about Manu has done to help us out. So. That being the case, I am excited for Manu's video to come out. I hope you guys will check it out when it does. And just for anybody who has come in, within the last 300 subscribers or so, 400 or 500 subscribers, you'll probably be surprised at some of the stuff that you learn. It's just there are plenty of people who visit our website, but not everybody does. So not everybody knows about, for example, the Guide of Foundation and Principles, which I recommend you check out. That's our founding document. It's equivalent to our Constitution. And it just details kind of what my plan for Eternia is, and the basic overview structure of the government, and kind of our philosophy. That's something that's actively in the works. We have continual iterations that come out that improve it and that expand it as I continue to get better at understanding our goals and our vision as we move forward, and kind of refining those details. But those kind of things you don't get to see all the time on the channel. You're following our progress day to day, but not, being able to see the big picture. So hopefully Manu's video is going to help with that a lot, and give a lot of context to the things that we're doing now. And I am absolutely flattered that he is putting effort into that for us. That's the kind of idea, and that's the kind of opportunity that I think I want to develop more on the channel, having more people help out, and also being able to have enough resources for ourselves that we can give back to people like Manu who are helping us by making this video. People who just care about making the channel better absolutely deserve to reap some of the rewards of that. And so, Manu participated in our Risk tournament this last time, and even the way that we got developing this video idea for him is by talking about the potential for a new Risk tournament. Me saying, well, it's difficult right now because of our current situation with our Wi-Fi, but as we get better and better, hopefully we'll be able to come back with those solid micronational Risk tournaments. The the thing that has been afforded to us in that, though, is having people with creativity like Manu being able to help us out in other ways. And so, him having participated in our last tournament, he didn't win, but he was close to it. And so, the actual winner wanted to give Manu their award, which was a pack of stickers that we sent out. And so, I told that person that I wanted to make sure that they got their reward for the the winning the tournament, King Michael of Perpetua. I wanted to make sure that he got our reward for the Risk tournament for being the grand victor, but that there would be opportunities for Manu to be able to get something, and to be able to win a prize or an award. And so I want to make sure that Manu is honored in some way. I really do. If there is some way that we can put something together for that, I don't want to make timeline promises or anything like that, because I want to make sure that I keep up with it if I do. but there needs to be some way to do that legitimately. I think one of the benefits of having the land now that we can maybe do. Let me know what you guys think of this. Um, is I want to be able to get like natural things from our land. You know, pieces of reclaimed wood, rocks that look cool. You know, potentially flowers that are on the land, and turn that into things that we can one sell on our imperial market, but two that we can give away as rewards for people participating on the channel. There's not a ton of there's not a ton of cost that goes into stuff like that. I mean, we can put a little bit into it to make it like a really nice item for somebody. You know, we can make like a little stand for flowers or something, or we could do like, you know, maybe like a little clay pot or something out of the clay on our land. But all of those things are something um, that we can do relatively cheaply, and that would be nice, legitimate gifts for people who are participating. So I absolutely want to make sure that we get those to you guys, and that we start development along those lines as well, not just for the development of Eternia as an economic enterprise, but also as just showing thank you for our community and for all of the people who have helped us to make Eternia not only something that's stable, not only something that's sustainable, but something that allows us to survive now, something that we can start to depend on as individuals. I, of course, don't make any money from the Empire of Aeternia yet. There's nothing that I can say that, you know, I really lean on with Aeternia until we got this piece of land. It was a lot of my own private finances that I had to give to get the land, but now I can say that I truly have Eternia supporting me to some extent, because I will be able to live out there on that land. Even if, you know, worst case scenarios in my life, I still have a place to go. So long as I can pay the taxes on it, which it shouldn't be too difficult at all. Um, I have a place to go. I have a place to live. I have a place to sleep at night. Even worst case scenarios. So that's absolutely wonderful for me, and I feel lucky for that. And now I want to be able to build on that, make myself more stable, and then be able to provide more for you all along those lines. I really want to be able to start to give away some of those cool items and things that, again, don't cost us anything to make for you guys, to be able to start to send out. So let me know what you think. Um, Multiple things. Um, Cusnaria said, Micronational war is dumb and stupid and dumb, but people insist. Fair enough. Also, 8 viewers, 10 likes. Thank you guys for hanging out, and thank you guys for participating in our discussion about the future of the Eternian territory and how we're continuing to develop and expand now that we have purchased our very own land. Cusnaria says, so I have devised a way for hotheads to blow off steam, citizens to have fun as troops, and content to grow micronationalism. It's called Incursion. You told me a little bit about this, I think, Cusnaria. I think we emailed about this. Manu says, I wasn't there for stickers, I was there for glory. I lost fair and square. Even still, though, I appreciate your commitment, Manu. And that's what makes Manu an awesome participant in our community. He straight up made one of the advertisements for the Micronational Tournament 2, which he was in, and he competed at the highest level. He was, I think, in the final for it, and he came in second place. He lost, but still, he's out here like, I was here for the glory. I was coming back to win that title, and I tell you what, next time I'm going to get it. My man's killing it. Oh my goodness. He's like a WWE wrestler out here. Oh my goodness. My man's killing it. Is the modern day goodness. I don't know, but you're killing it, Manu. I appreciate it. Manu says, anyway, I've been thinking of retirement plans for my short-lived micronational risk career. Oh no, but see, Manu, I think you got to come back for the vengeance. You got to do the victory tour. You got to come back for your time, like Rocky came back. You know, you gotta show that you have what it takes to win the championship, and then you go into retirement. Gore says BRB. Manu says, and to focus more on the video part. I do appreciate you making videos for us, and I think that's gonna help to get a lot of fresh faces into those tournaments and into those other community events. So I appreciate that. Manu says, also my account is acting weird and I don't want to take risks. No pun intended. That's funny. I appreciate it. And I can definitely understand that. Trying to minimize the amount that it takes us to get things out, whether it's um, just trying to keep consistent, I guess. The same thing with your account, um, uh, doing things that don't take too much effort to like set up, and then you realize you have to change course and try and figure something else out. Um, it makes it to where we can continue to grow as a community. So don't feel like you have to be participating in the risk tournaments or doing any one thing to help out or to make things better. We're hopefully going to be continuing to expand for more opportunities for other people, so that uh, things like not being able to get on a certain site or do a certain thing won't stop people from participating as a whole. Onyx said I'm back. Hey, Onyx, thank you so much. Manu says, wait, if I remember correctly, it was your fault that I lost him for AP. I did. I did. I beat up Manu. I straight up kicked him out of the thing. That's true. It was myself versus King Michael at the end of the second Micronational Risk tournament. I tried to take the glory in it because I thought I could win because I had been destroyed in the first Micronational Risk tournament. In the first tournament, I didn't even rank. Like, it was a thing where I got knocked out of the tournament like within two or three people. Like, I got knocked out pretty dang quick. So I was out like in the first round, and then every round after that was just people, trying to claim that title. But this second Micronational Risk tournament, I got close. I came out with the potential to win against King Michael. It was me, Manu, and King Michael. And I ended up saying, no, that's it. I'm sorry, Manu. And I started attacking Manu in order to try and win the tournament. But I think that shot me in the foot too. I think that's why King Michael won. King Michael was the strongest on the board. He was absolutely killing the game. But we Manu and I were also kind of fighting. Like there weren't really any alliances. There wasn't anything set up to guarantee anything for anyone. So at a certain point, I was like, well, maybe if I can take over Manu, I can get Manu's like territory and stuff, and I can use it to fight King Michael. But even that wasn't enough. It took me so many resources and so much effort to try and take over and get Manu's stuff that by the time I fought King Michael, it was over with. He killed me. But it was a good tournament, and I do want to see the comeback of Manu. I think you could win. I think legitimately, if I had gotten knocked out and it was you and King Michael, you stood a chance. Maki says, hi. Hey, Maki, it's good to see you. And also, thanks for hanging out, and thanks for liking the video. Again, we're talking about the development of our territory that we just purchased, and talking about what steps we need to take to make sure that citizens can start living out there. Big Name said, so he did see my email. I wish my inbox allowed me to see the response. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not get the response email? I have to I'll send you another one, I guess. But yeah, I had gotten your thing talking about incursion. I definitely think it's a good idea. I think depending on the way that you set it up, it can work well. I think people's biggest gripe with micronational war is one that they call it a war because that can be insensitive to people who've actually gone through war and can take some of the realism out of micronationalism for some people. So I understand in certain circles why micronational war isn't okay, and I am tending to be in that circle as well. I'm tending to agree that you shouldn't call things micronational war. You shouldn't be associating with or having micronational war. But talking about uh, this other idea where you're like, well, it still allows us to do a similar thing, but not have micronational war, is good. That's what we've tried to do with the Risk tournament, and that's what we hope to do with other things as well. Not just for war's purpose, but also just for interaction with other nations, having games that we can play together, having different events that people can take place, that people can interact with online, means that we're able to create a more inclusive community and that we can have arguments settled instead of by declaring war on each other, or trying to hack each other, or trying to defame each other, or curse each other out, or give each other a bad reputation. I just got a bug in my throat. Oh my gosh. A gnat has been flying around me and one flew in my mouth. That was gross. Um, excuse me, that was horrible. Um, having those opportunities for people, having that kind of community interaction allows us to move forward as a people and allows us to make legitimate progress online without much money needing to be involved, without much time or effort, and grows the community. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Manu says I'll come back when I turn like 50. I got you, Manu. Manu's like I'm gonna practice Risk until nobody can ever beat me. I will beat every single AI at Risk under any difficulty circumstances, and only then will I emerge so that I am the Super Saiyan Goku of the tournament and absolutely burn a hole through anyone who tries to challenge me. Manu is gonna come back as a beast. I'm ready for it. I want to see it. Onyx says rip video. Uh, Manu says no, I was second. Oh, so was I just wrong? Did I misremember? Because I tried to. Oh no, did I try to take you out and then I died? Was that it? Did you kill me? Okay, there we go. That's what it was. That's what it was. It was me. I flipped the script. Okay, so I did lose. Gore says back. Manu says he beat you first, but that was after you weakened both of our militaries. That's true. That's what I tried to do. I was desperate in the second Micronationalist tournament. I was desperate, and so I like rushed both of them. I was like, I need to try and break out of here because I think I was getting stuck in like Australia, if that was the same match. I forget now, but I remember I was trying to like expand so that I could get a little bit more territory because I couldn't build up enough armies, and I just lost. It was tragic, but I made it kind of an even playing field. I hope. I did make it. I did go after Manu significantly though. Manu says you signed both of our death sentences. That's fair. Um, Onyx says I need funny animation ideas, like animation ideas but funny. I appreciate the the quotations, Onyx. Fake name says I feel validated now. I'm happy. Very nice. Why are you validated and happy, Cusnaria? Oh, because of my response. I'm glad. I'm proud that we could help out. I think your idea is good. I would say, um, let me know. Like, keep me updated with what you're doing with it, because I would love to help out if I can. Um, Manu says beating AI is easy. Um, beat maybe the AI on the game, like on the tournament. Uh, how hard is the hardest setting? Have you beat the hardest setting, Manu? Onyx says I sent a request for the micronational map under my micronation's email. Hey, perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. White Wind says I made it. It took me like 9 streams, but I made it. Yo, White Wind. White Wind is okay. For those of you who may not be super familiar with White Wind has been also a long-time supporter of the channel. White Wind has been uh, a great participant of ours and also somebody who has been interested in connecting with and potentially getting an alliance with the Empire of Aeternia. We have been trying to work with Whitewind for a long time, and they've been missing a lot of our streams, but they've been trying to make them, and I feel bad because I time it when they're not available, so I'm super glad that Whitewind is here with us today. Whitewind, this is an incredible stream for you to be on as well, because if you don't know, we just purchased our land. We have our territory now. We are able to move forward with developing so that we can get citizens on the land. Hopefully that means we're going to be expanding and having more opportunities for people, and hopefully that means that we can connect with you all more easily and make that alliance happen. Again, long time coming, a lot of effort that's been placed into this, but I don't think you could have made a better stream. This is a great one for you to be a part of just because of what we're talking about and because of all the progress that we're making. Onyx says A BAC Backos? Interesting. But yeah, White Wind's back. I'm hyped. I appreciate it, White Wind. Thank you so much for making it, for real. I feel like as we move forward and as we continue to develop, I want to figure out how to bring more and more of those people into the fold. I want to figure out how to utilize all of the people who have been so beneficial for us and so helpful for us, and to give you guys one more more resources so that the work that you're already putting in, the time and effort that makes it that makes it uh, so valuable for us is already something that can be made more efficient and can help us out a lot in a much greater way. But as well, something that can reward you guys, something that can give back for all the effort that you put in. So, for that being the case, I really want to try to talk to you guys. Onyx, you've made content for the channel before. Please hit us up. Let us know if there's anything we can figure out to have you make more content for us. We really enjoyed your content. The same thing with you, Manu. I know you're already making a video for us, and I appreciate it. I'm excited to see it. And Whitewind, same thing. I'm excited to see what we can come up with to work together. Whitewind says, I've been watching the other streams to give you the watch time, but I wish I was able to ask questions for you to answer. I see Eternia improving better than Whitewind, though. We've lost people instead of gained people. Well, that's fair, but I would say that's perfectly fine. Every single micronation is going to have waxing and waning periods. We're not always doing stuff super successfully. At the beginning of the summer, not at the beginning of the summer, at the end of this last summer, we had 30, 36 or 3,700 watch time hours, almost the 4,000 watch time hours that we needed to be able to get monetization. It's about to be April, and we're at 32. So we have dropped significantly, but we are like advancing rapidly. Once we get, the last time our monetization had dropped, it had been around the like 2,000 mark, like the low 2,000s. So then we rose up last summer to, almost our watch time hours, and then we dipped back down again during this fall and during the winter. So now that we're starting to move back up, we should hit it this summer. I would say don't worry about any stagnation or anything that's like, causing you some difficulty right now. There are waxing and waning periods with micronations. It's going to happen. It happens with everything in life. But if you keep being persistent and you continue to try and develop it, you will get it. As well, I hope that we can help with that. If there is some way that we can collaborate with the Empire of Whitewind, I would love to know. Especially if there's some way that we could do some video content together or something like that. Whitewind, if you can make some stuff for us and help us out. My biggest thing is that I can't reach out to people quick enough with the work that I do, with school, with developing the land now. Everything that we've been working toward takes a lot of my time and effort. And so I want to be able to build up our watch time hours so that it helps us out even more, but it takes time. So the more people that I can get on board to do stuff with us, the more that I can kind of create and help out. And the more that we can eventually get that watch time, which means, of course, an added revenue stream and more that we can accelerate for you all. Cosnaria says, goals for Cosnaria: conquer the Mississippi Basin. Ooh, that, I would say that's an interesting goal, Cusnaria, because that may just bump into some of the things that we're doing, and I would recommend that you don't. Um, I mean, if you're just saying that, like, good for you. I hope it works out. But if you are serious about it, and that's legitimately a goal of yours, I would reconsider, just because Eternia has an ally as of the moment that is in Mississippi. And we ourselves are in northern Alabama. So that would be a significant conflict of interest for us. But if there is some way that you do decide to change your goals and that we can find a way to work together to collaborate to help improve your nation and to help to develop to a point where that's not something that's necessary or of interest to you, let us know. I would love to help out. Whiteman says, I'm guessing for the decrease in the watch time hours is because of people going back to school and also having schoolwork and other activities. That is true as well, and also because of myself having a lot of schoolwork and other activities, where I can't, during the summer, I could stream probably like once a day, sometimes, for several hours a day. So our watch time shot up because, of course, there were more people watching the streams during the summer, but also because there were a ton of people who were just able to, catch us because we were going every day. So the frequency of the posts, as well as the uh, length of time that people were able to spend watching, of course, does fluctuate that. You're right. But the more that we can have people help out, the more we can help with that increased frequency of our posts. So if we have people who are making content for the Eternia channel, then we have things that are going out to people. So even if you're busy and you're doing schoolwork or life stuff or whatever, if they're already posted videos that you can watch and enjoy, it still helps to buffer those watch time hours for us. And that way, once we do hit summer and we can really, really start pumping out a lot of content, we already have a decent baseline that we've started to hit. If by the summertime we can get up to, a solid 33, maybe 3,400 watch time hours, once the summer hits, we'll be banging into 4,000. Um, uh, Onyx says basin. And then fake name says fake name says Onyx thanks. Onyx says no problem at fake name. Um, Fake name says it won't happen until I'm long dead. That's fair enough, but then how can you ensure that it'll happen, right? Like if your personal goal is to conquer the Mississippi River Basin, and then you pass it on to maybe another government official or maybe one of your children or something, how can you be sure that that'll be their goal? Maybe the Mississippi River Basin will be very unvaluable land at that point, or maybe it'll be really, really hard to access. And so it may be better worth their time and resources to do other things. I would say if you're wanting to conquer the Mississippi River Basin, that you would do that during your lifetime. You would find a way to do that just under the assumption that it would be harder to do after you're dead. But it would be harder for your constituents, uh, not your predecessors, because that's who comes before you, your descendants. It would be harder for your descendants to do so. So yeah, good luck. But I would say, if you are legitimately doing that, you will, I think, face a lot of resistance, including from those of us who have economic interests in that area. Um, Onyx said thumbs up, and then said, "Did the stream just die for a second? I hope not." And then said, "Is it my Wi-Fi?" Great question. Fake News says, "But perhaps our descendants can work something out. But regardless, I need a coastline with a river." Uh, that's fair enough, but I mean, depending on what you're doing, a coastline with a river may turn into a property with a stream. It can depend, but also there are a lot of different coastlines with rivers. I don't think you need just this one. White Wind says, with new territory going, you could probably create storms going a capitalist route to get faster income. That way you'll need to get external exports for a little while until you get farms. All of that type of stuff. So yeah, that's absolutely something that we're thinking about. Right now, again, we have um, a lot of plans as far as again making kind of just like a little camp type shelter, digging a dugout and trying to camp out over a weekend or so in there, as well trying to get rainwater collection stuff so that we have that. We have a connection with the Kingdom of Arcovia, who have a quail farm, and who we are going to be actually assisting with developing some technologies for them, hopefully getting some quail from them. So that'll be exciting. Um, and then after that, we are continuing to expand um, with some of the other things we're doing in trying to continue that sustenance farming. Like you were talking about, really just trying to get eggs from quail, trying to grow little small staple crops, potatoes, onions, garlic, um, lettuce, things like that. That'll be fairly easy for us to make and to take care of. And it'll have pretty quick yields, radishes, stuff like that. The more that we can do of that, um, the more that we can offset our food costs. So that way, when somebody does come, to live as a resident in Eternia. We can say, hey, we're providing you with this housing free of charge. You also have a certain amount of food. If you want to go get something nice, you may have to leave Eternia and go into the United States to purchase something on your own. But if you're just looking for stuff to, make yourself some food or whatever, we will have plenty of available stored goods. Of course, we'll have canned goods and stuff like that that we can purchase from the store. But as well, we will have a lot and things that are just non-perishables, rice, stuff like that. But rice, beans, you know, uh, but for a lot of it as well, we will be able to offset it with some of those sustenance crops that we develop, and all of that happening, within the next few months. So that'll be exciting. Um, Manu says the video is basically a summary of Eternia's government structure, but maybe there can be sequels in the future talking about other topics like goals or the prestige system. I would love that, Manu. Yes, please. Having a video of Eternia's government structure is going to help a lot. One, because I can upload that directly to YouTube and people can see it and people can ask questions and understand a little more about us. But also, if it's short enough, I can, or not even short enough, TikTok has like a long time. I can post it on TikTok. I can post it on Twitter, on our Instagram. We can have it out there. We can have it bumping. Yeah, that works. I would appreciate it, and it's something that's informative. It's catchy. It can, keep people's attention, and then we can do those other ones explaining all of this stuff. I can even probably put that as a, informational video on our website. So, when people ask like, what is the Empire of Aeternia? How does its government work? We can have videos for all of those little sections of the website. So that way everything's all connected and people can go right to understanding what they need to. Um, Fake name says, if I do that in my life, it will collapse like Alexander and Genghis. Maybe. I'm getting a call. I'm probably going to have to skedaddle, guys. Thank you so much for everybody hanging out with us and spending time. Um, Once again, it's AP. We are probably going to be going out to the land next weekend, and so I will see you guys then. Peace, everybody. If you need anything, Discord as always, email attorneyandempire@gmail.com. If you don't know, please check out our website, wix.com attorney and empire, /imperial market. Please go and check us out. And as well, if you want to help us with our land purchase and with developing the land that we have purchased, please go to ko-fi.com/Eternia, link in the description, to help us. And you can also go to our commissions, which have a whole bunch of things that you can get as rewards for those donations. Bye, everybody. Eternia forever.